Do you have Microsoft on? Hey, David, which screen do you see right now?
It's got a blue background, standards, public hearing, PowerPoint initial slide.
Like that?
Yeah, now I see the blue one and then your little next slide thing also.
Why is it doing that?
All right. Yeah. There's probably some way to turn off showing the next slide. I'm not real sure how to do that.
Well, I can do this.
Yeah, you can do it that way.
And then, well, maybe we'll just go with this.
Mark, if you, up at the top when you were sharing, the way you were sharing a second ago, it said display settings. I think you can turn up, you can select whether or not you're displaying the presenter view versus like audience view. So
yeah, that's.
Yeah, yeah, that setting, wherever that's at.
I see that setting now.
Okay.
If I can figure out how to. Oh, I don't want to do that. That says optimize. That might be changing to the. All right. There, I think that did it. Now I got, well. There, and that's shared. And if I hit this, maybe not. Yeah. Anyway, let's get this started. I'll stop. There, it's on screen 1. Too many screens. All right, let me get this thing started right now since I've waited 4 minutes. You guys are here for the standards public hearing meeting. It's Public Works. We're going to be talking about a couple of the standards that we're proposing to change in this meeting. Let's see, switch to the next slide. Basically, this is a public hearing. Was it the proposed changes to these standards? If you have comments on today's proposed changes, please provide them to me by June 15th of 2021. If you, there's my email address there on the top of the slide. We're also going to post this video, or we're recording this for posterity right now. So if you'd like to, you can look at this later on. If you have other comments, and there's my mailing address if you'd like to send me comments that way. Basically, to let you know a little bit about the Standards Committee, was it the Public Works Standards Committee? We basically review changes review proposed changes, and then we have a public meeting, which you're at right now. Was it after those proposed and after the public meeting, the proposed changes? We have a 30-day immediately following this for comments. After that, we'll take the comments and I will put the comments all together and provide them to the Standards Committee, and the Standards Committee will either change with approve, change with modifications, deny, or continue with the further considerations. And then after that, the Standards Committee will provide that comments to the City Council, and the City Council will make the final approval on the changes. So today's meeting, we're going to be going over three main changes. Changes to KCMO APWA 2600, changes to KCMO APWA 2100, and changes to the SR1 standard drawings. The first one is basically a change in clerical change. Was it with Water Services is changing 2600? They're making modification. They've updated 2600, and in updating 2600, certain sections were removed from the section 2600 and are being moved to 2100, and that's what this first paragraph is basically saying. It's saying KCMO APWA 2602.2 section material subsection H, granular bedding material, and subsection I, flowable backfill material, low strength material, is being moved to KCMO APWA 2102.12. So basically, those two sections have been moved from 2602.2 to 2102.12. And that's due to the updates of 2600. But in doing that, we're proposing changing two things, in both of them being with the flowable backfill controlled low strength material, the CLSM. Are both we're proposing changes to them. The two changes we're proposing to them are, one, removing the mixed design table that's currently shown on the specification and changing it more to basically changing it to a performance-based spec. If you still want the mixed design table, that could be provided to the contractor or developer if they wanted it. The other thing is that we are reducing the design compressive strength of the CLSM. We're changing the range from 200 PSI to 75 PSI down to 125 PSI to 50 PSI. So we're reducing the strength of that material into a lower PSI, or giving you a lower range. So it makes it a easier removable material. Another change that we're proposing that's just basically a clerical or moving sections is basically we're moving KCMO APWA 2602.3 section construction details and we're moving that whole section to 2102.12 construction details. And these are brought about by the changes to 2600, the new 2600 that's been signed off on. Was it right now? Was it 2600 reverts to it's saying these sections are in 2100 and they're not in 2100 right now. So these were the two easy changes. The third change we're proposing is proposed changes to the SR1. This is a list. There's two slides of the changes, proposed changes. One is requiring full lanes width for pavement repair cuts. Number two is overlaying a lane for a block of more than 20% of that. More than 20% of the block is patches. Basically, but that stipulation is like water services. If they were doing a patch, that would only be their patch. If they only did one patch and the patch was only 5% of the block lane, it's still not 20%. It's not 20% of all the patches in the whole street, because some of our streets have a lot of patches. Only allowing flowable fill, or that CLSM, or an untreated compacted aggregate as our backfill material. That's number three. Number four is combining patches that are 3 feet apart is changing to combining patches that are 20 feet apart. So right now the current spec is if you have a patch that's within 3 feet of the other patch, those two patches become one. This is changing to basically if the two patches are within 20 feet of each other, they become one patch. All excavations under traffic must be embedded street plates unless the excavation is a safe, secure, and permitted site or within a lane closure not under traffic. Number 6 is all excavations that are made under emergency conditions when a certified testing or CLSM are not available shall be considered as temporary repairs, and the material placed under such conditions shall be removed. Number 7 is changing excavations in street pavements within 2 years of construction and resurfacing requirement to within 7 years of construction and resurfacing. So basically, the old old SR1 said within 2 years if you've done construction, or we've done an overlay within 2 years. Now the new proposed change is 7 years. And then our last main change is all perimeter joints will be sealed within 24 hours after finished pavement is placed. This is the SR1. I can send you, this has been posted on the website, but I can post it the most updated one. It shows the SR1 where the changes are. The first two boxes basically are showing the granular material and the flowable fill. The big box on the bottom there is the section where it's talking about the 20% on your patches. The box on your right is about the basically the lane closure being under and the plate needing to be embedded, and also the if it's an emergency situation, not removing material needing to be removed if the material was not placed there in standard. I skip one. Yeah, this one is talking about it's changing from the first box on the right is changing the requirements from 2 years to 7 years. It's showing your width requirement if you've overlaid or if you've come in and cut in the road within the last 7 years. It's going to be for the lane width and the length. The width will be lane width and the length will be basically the block length or a maximum of 250 feet, depending on which distance it is. And that is, this one here is the last drawing. It basically shows the crack sealing. Basically, you're sealing the joint around where you've made your patch. Now I'm open for we're recording this, so if you guys make comments, we can be able to tell you what you're thinking, or we'll be able to respond to you. Jeff, you got any questions?
I do not at this time, Mark. Thanks.
Oh, okay. That was basically our presentation for today. Was it future ones? If you guys have comments or ideas for new standards or updating standards that you guys want us to work on, shoot me an email on that also. I'm going to be working on here in the next in the near future, I'm going to be working on ADA and redoing those standards to make them a little bit more defined on the standards, fewer standards maybe. We may also delve into 2100 a little bit more into the embankment requirements.
Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
This is Faraz with Forterra. I just sent a message on the chat. I just wanted to double check. So you said that section 2600 was changed, but we couldn't find the revisions on the website. Have these revisions actually been implemented? And if so, is there a marked up version somewhere that we'd be able to take a look at?
Jeff, are those posted on your website right now?
So the 2600 changes have been adopted by the Water Services Department Standards Committee. However, the 2600 version that is adopted by Public Works is still the version of 2600 that controls for any work done via permit by the city.
So as of right now, I guess, is there an intent to get those adopted by the Public Works Department for permitted work?
Yes.
So what would have to take place is that Public Works would either adopt the version of 2600 the Water Services has adopted, or rescind the existing Public Works version of 2600 and then reference to the Water Services Department adopted version of 2600 as the controlling version.
Yeah. And I need to look at, and I need to look into seeing how we can rescind it, because it
would need to be done via ordinance.
Yeah. Well, no, I know the ordinance. Do I have to do another public meeting? Because I'd already posted this public meeting. Do I have to do another public meeting to rescind it?
Yeah, it's something we can discuss. So Water Services did hold a public meeting and public comment period on the 2600 version that we've gone through, so that may cover it.
Okay. No. So we can talk about that, that'll change. We'll probably rescind. I mean, what we're going to do is we'll rescind that with the same time as we're doing the 2100, so we cover ourselves in the ordinance, hopefully. Well, that's all I had, guys. If you guys have more comments on specifications you want to change, just send me an email, and I will work on them in my spare time.
All right. Mark, this is David. Thanks for doing that. It made sense to me. Yeah, I think we're good to go forward.
All right. Well, I think I had someone trying to find it, but they can't find it on 4line. But I'll send them the and I'll send this person the once we get the drawing it posted, I'll get Maggie to send it to me, the file, and I'll send it out to the person just emailed me asking me how to get on the this meeting. So actually, that's him right there. All right. I think we're done. Christopher, I think I'll have to send you the presentation. Was it by email that you just got on?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. That's all I had. You guys, I just gave Jeff. Just remember this. I gave you an hour back of your day.
Appreciate it, Mark.
I'm sure you'll find something for me for an hour, right? All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Great.
Thanks,
Thank
Mark.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
No problem.